when true magic, while still uncommon, was not as rare as it is today, there lived a man who was also a crocodile. He did not begin his life as this duality of creatures. He was born, and as such not hatched, as a boy named Manny Fishbein. And he grew to manhood in a singularly human state. Manny married. Though the home he and his wife, Elizabeth, shared was poor, they were happy with what they had. Soon Elizabeth became round with child, and Manny was jubilant. Then came the day that the child was born. Well, the baby boy, Larry, was healthy and strong. His mother did not survive the day. Leaving Larry with the midwife, Manny left the village bound for a sulphurous swamp. And though it was not within the limits of the law, Manny saw that if he could hunt a crocodile, he could make enough money to care for his stock. He found a large model crocodile. Though nervous, Manny's hands were steady as he took aim with his crossbow and fired. The bolt flew true, but then, just before striking the beast, it stopped, hanging in the air. The crocodile that would have been the target rose out of the water. It seemed to stand upright on only its hind legs. The body was transforming from a crocodile into a gnarled old woman. Her skin was brown with mottled green patches, much as it had been as a crocodile. And her eyes remained those of the reptile she had been only moments before. Manny recognized her at once from the many legends he had heard growing up. This was Mama Herpada, guardian of the sulphurous swamp. She turned her inhuman eyes on the hunter.
Manny Fishbein, she crowed. You were put to Crocodile in the sacred waters of the sulphur swamp.
Manny stammered, trying to respond, unable to think clearly.
I'm sorry. I have a son.
Mama Herpada nodded.
Yes, a newborn son.
Then, with nothing more than a turn of her wrist, the baby appeared there in the swamp. Larry floated in the air inches from Mama Herpada's hands, wrapped in a blanket and sleeping peacefully.
Please!
Manny pleaded.
Don't hurt him. I'll do anything.
Manny Fishbein,
She continued.
For many generations I have protected these waters, but now I am more than I am tired and I need of time to refresh and be reborn. In that time I will need another to watch over the sulphurous swamp. The other will be you.
With a quick nod of her head, a streak of green soared from her eyes and into Manny's chest.
What did you do?
He asked.
I have given you a piece of my power. Dive into the water and you shall become a crocodile. Return to the land and as you rise, you will return to being a man. You shall live here in the sulphurous swamp, here with your boy. You will protect the crocodiles from the poachers, such as yourself. While I regain my youth and my energy, I will replenish in time of the 234th full moons. If in that time you can protect the crocodiles of the swamp from all who would kill them, I will set you free, a man once more. But should you fail, should a single one of my sacred stock be taken by a human, you shall become a crocodile for all your days, and your son shall suffer your curse as well.
With that, the old woman was gone, and the baby drifted down into his father's arms. And so Manny built a small shack in the deepest part of the swamp. And there he raised his son, but never told the boy the truth about why they lived in the swamp. Nor did Larry know that his father, when immersed in water, became a crocodile. For 233 full moons, Manny and Larry went on living this life. And then it was in the last month of Manny's exile that the first true danger came. Her name was Beulah Sharp. Along with her teenage daughter, Trina, Beulah moved into a small home on the outskirts of the sulfurous swamp. She wanted the pelts of the crocodiles. She wanted to make a fortune by selling that which was so rare and hard to find that there were some who would pay very richly for it. Beulah and Trina would take forays into the swamp exploring. It was on one such exploration that Trina became separated from her mother. Trina, lost, began to pant and run hither and thither. But she found some help, not in the form of her mother, but in the form of a handsome young man. He introduced himself as Larry, and he knew all the pathways through the swamp. Larry led Trina back to her home, and here he met her mother. Beulah recognized at once that this lad would be an asset in her quest to find crocodiles. Trina could sense the affection Larry felt for all the crocodiles of the sulfur swamp. She began to feel some affinity toward them as well, that was likely due to the affinity she felt for the lad. Still, Trina began to doubt the wisdom of her mother's plan to poach these beasts. The next morning dawned with an unwelcome and unnatural frigidity for the time of the year. Manny knew this kind of temperature would slow the crocodiles of the swamp and also slow himself when in his reptilian form. But he vowed to be even more vigilant than usual. He would not let harm come to a crocodile on this, the last day of his enforced role as their protector. Though the morning was cold at the home of Beulah Sharp, things were getting heated indeed. After her restless night, Trina steeled herself to stand up to her mother. She told Beulah that poaching Larry's beloved crocodiles would be wrong. Were Trina to tell Larry the truth about Beulah's intentions, she would lose her valuable guide. She promised to walk with Trina and Larry that day and try to see the crocodiles as Larry saw them. Beulah wrapped herself in a large cloak against the cold of the day. But while Trina herself was dressing, Beulah tucked her hand crossbow into the cloak where it would not be seen. Manny used his intelligence to find the places to watch Beulah and Trina without being seen himself. When Larry arrived, he led the two women into the swamp. None of them knew they were being followed. Larry spotted the one animal he best recognized in all the surfless swamp. He pointed the crocodile out to his companions. Without warning, the woman drew the hand crossbow out of her cloak. Before Larry or Trina could even fully understand what was happening, Beulah took aim. But where Larry and Trina were slow to react, Manny, watching from under the waters nearby, was not. This bolt was blocked by Crocodile Man's own body coming into its path. The razor tip of the weapon pierced into the crocodile's chest. Though Larry had not been as quick to react as his father, he now took action. He quickly disarmed Beulah, and in her shock at the appearance of another crocodile, she put up no fight. The wounded crocodile, it was changing, and the three onlookers could do naught but stare, at least until the face became recognizable.
Father!
Larry shouted. He ran toward his sire and cradled Manny's body in his arms.
Father!
But Manny's eyes, already clouding over, looking past the boy into the blue sky on the eastern horizon. And there, faint, hard to see from the sunlight that filled the day, but visible, he saw it.
The moon!
He gasped.
The final moon!
At that moment, as Larry looked back at the full moon just rising over the horizon, from out of the waters arose a woman. She was dark, young, powerful, and beautiful, except for her eyes. She had the eyes of a crocodile.
Mama hurt us.
But Beulah breathed. The dark, mottled woman approached, her step taking her over water if it were land. She strode with confidence, arrogance, and power until she laid eyes on Manny.
No,
She whispered.
no, it can't be. Mama Herpada?
Larry demanded.
Save him. Save my father. No!
Mama Herpada screamed. Manny could barely speak, but he croaked out the words.
I have done my task. Free my boy.
No! The woman with crocodile eyes screamed, but not in response to Manny's words. It cannot be! The bell from Mama Herpata filled the air, echoing from all directions. At that moment, the winds arose in a storm, and Beulah was lifted from the ground and flung deep into the swamp. Puff! But then, as suddenly as they emerged from each other, the winds withered into calm. Trina rose. Larry opened his eyes, and both of them had the greatest surprises of their lives. For there, where Manny Fishbone had been lying, approaching the threshold of the death, there now lay a man a little older than Larry himself. He looked like Manny, but young, and more importantly, the wound in his chest was gone. But more shocking still, there was no longer a crocodile. In his place, there was a beautiful young woman who Larry had never before seen, or not to his memory. She was crying and holding the young Manny Fishbone. Manny's arms enfolded her and lifted her face so she could look into her eyes.
Elizabeth?
He asked, shock playing on his face. She looked at him and saw that he was young and unwooded. Manny? And they embraced. How was she alive? Elizabeth explained that just after Larry had been born, as a midwife, truly Mama Herpata in disguise, had stolen Elizabeth's life as a woman. She had just absorbed it, and all went black. When Elizabeth awoke, she was no longer a woman, but a crocodile. Mama Herpata had needed the essence of a young and healthy woman to begin her rebirth. And so she had stolen it when Elizabeth, having just given birth, was too weak to fight that power. But Mama Herpata's ability to be reborn and her control over the destinies of human lives could not be overcome one thing: true heroic sacrifice for love. Manny had willingly sacrificed himself to save Larry from a lifetime as a crocodile. And when Mama Herpata saw that Manny was about to die, the life energy within her could no longer be contained. It was unleashed in a storm which renewed youth and full humanity to Manny and Elizabeth. Knowing the swamp as they did, Manny and Larry led the search for Beulah, but she was never found. And while Trina was sad at the loss of her mother, she was welcomed into her new family, a family that was now complete and reborn through the power of love.